Hey guys, welcome back to live broadcast number 4 down here at Foghorn Brewhouse. Today, we're here with Joe. How are you, Joe?
Very well, Matt. How are you?
Oh man, I'm so stoked that you came on, came up here for a chat, so thanks very much.
Cheers, it's good to be here.
Joe is Sean's right-hand man in the brewery. He knows a lot about beer, and I thought that this episode should be called the Power Paddle. This is the first time we've ever done a Power Paddle, and essentially what that is a genius idea, because it means that first of all, we get to drink 4 beers. We get to do it pretty quickly. We're trying to get through this in about 2 minutes. So really, if you're a mathematician, that's 30 seconds of beer. And Joe, the expert, is going to take us through each beer. So we've got about 30 seconds to describe each beer as we're going through the paddle. Now, I don't think, if it's okay with you, we'll drink all the beers. We might just
responsible service of alcohol and all. I don't think we can get through them in 30 seconds, but
cool, man.
We'll give it a try.
All right, well, why don't we just launch straight into it? I've got my timer here. This is called the Power Paddle. We're going to start with, what beer's first up?
First up, we've got the 4 Saisons in one day.
Let's do it.
Our most traditional take on a farmhouse ale here at Foghorn. Straight up on the nose, you get lemon and a bit of barnyard funk. It's a very earthy beer, a very traditional style, one of the more traditional styles that we do, with a nice late citrus hop finish from the Kiwi hops that we use there. It's one of my favourite styles. I think it's really suited to the Australian climate, and it's a beer that we love selling here over the bar, and we want to see more people get on board with it.
4 Saisons.
4 Saisons in one day.
All right. You know what? That was brilliant, man. 30 seconds is up. All right. Let's move on. What's the next one?
Next up, Ideas Beer. It's one of our biggest sellers here at Foghorn. It's what we call an Aussie Pale Ale. It's got a fair whack of wheat to it. I like to describe it as one of our beeriest beers. It's great as a gateway beer if you're just on your craft beer journey, but there's also enough interesting flavours there if you're a seasoned veteran.
All right.
Nice little lighter citrus hop finish to that one as well, and it's also one that goes down great on a hot day.
I've always been a fan of the Ideas beer, so I'm glad that that one made it into the paddle. Look at that, mate. 30 seconds is up. We're going great here. Next beer.
Another one of my personal favourites, the Young Americans IPA. It's one that we're really proud of here. We were lucky enough to take out a gold medal at the AIBAs with it last year. Everything that I love about a West Coast IPA. Big hop aroma, big hop flavour. You get lots of citrus, pine, a little bit of tropical fruit in there, and a beautiful resinous mouthfeel. We throw that many hops into it all through the brewing process, and I love getting involved and with the whole hop flowers. You've got resin all over your hands at the end of the day. It's a fun beer to brew.
I think it's no secret that Young Americans is my favourite beer of all time. 30 seconds is up. I wish we could spend longer, but let's move on to our final beer.
And up next, the Big Nobby, brand new beer that we released last week for our birthday. Think everything I just mentioned about the Young Americans, but amplified.
West Coast?
Yep, still your West Coast style. Yep, we've gone a little bit broader with the hops here. There's some Aussie hops, some Kiwi hops in there as well. Lot of stone fruit and a big bit of finish to it as well, and even more resin to it.
Wow, man, I'm going to have another sip of that. That is an amazing beer. I tasted it last week when we named it, and I can honestly say that it's just that. It's a bold, big Young Americans flavour, isn't it? All right, well, that's 30 seconds up. That was amazing. We did the first ever Power Paddle.
I think we did all right.
I think that's pretty good, man. Thank you very much.
Cheers, buddy.
You really know your beers. I want to ask you a couple more questions about your journey and how you became a brewer here at Foghorn. So how did that come about?
And I have loved good beer for quite a while. My first, penny drop experience with beer was a Chimay Red. And from there, I've just been on a search to find as much good beer as I can.
Right.
I worked as a sales rep for a while, selling craft beer, and did that for a bit, and then reached a point where I wanted to learn more about making it and being involved in the other side.
Right.
So I started off here in the bar about 2 years ago, and then within about 6 months, I had the chance to step into the brewery and learn off Sean Sherlock.
Well, I know this is like asking somebody if they have a favourite child, but do you have a favourite Foghorn craft beer by any chance?
Oh, that's the example I use over the bar all the time here.
What, you can't have a favourite? It's like a favourite child?
It's pretty much. It's exactly like a favourite child.
I have a couple of kids. I could probably pick a favourite, but anyway, won't go there. Anyway, go on.
Young Americans.
Yes! Oh man, that is, me too, dude. It's probably my favourite beer of all time. Cheers to that.
Cheers,
it is a great Young Americans. If you haven't had a Young Americans, you should come down here to Foghorn and try it. I highly, highly recommend it. It's Joe's recommendation as well. And just because, in the spirit of music, because there's always such great music pumping out of that brewery every time they're in there working, I'm going to ask Joe, if you were to have a Young Americans right now, if it was to be your ideal Young Americans experience, what music would you be listening to? What song would you be listening to while you're having that beer?
It'd be some Bowie. I feel that Young
yeah.
Americans is a little bit too simple and obvious. I'd have to go, my favourite Bowie track is first song off Ziggy Stardust, 5 years.
Legendary, man. Oh, well, once again, dude, thank you so much. You're a man of knowledge, you're a man of beer wisdom, and I thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Make sure you guys get down here and introduce yourself to Joe anytime in the future. But if you want to come with me, we've just got a couple more things to chat about on this live broadcast. As you know, and as you just heard there, we did launch a new beer last week. So that was called the Big Nobby. Now that is an awesome beer. It's 8.7%. It is extremely delicious. We named it here last week live as well. So
I talk crowds all the time, but the idea of it going live onto the internet, it's a bit different.
What I want you to know is...
he's got great energy with it.
Got a mic on. So just for now... So if you have been down here, please write in the comments below your opinion on the Big Nobby. I want to find out from you guys. I want to find out what you thought of the Big Nobby. So make sure you let us know, please. The last thing I want to say is at the end of all these live broadcasts, we do have a special little promo. This week, we're going to promo our $1 wings. Now, every Monday, as you know, there's $1 wings down here. But if you're watching this live broadcast and you feel to come down, we're going to put $1 wings on this Thursday as well. So starting from 4 p.m. on Thursdays, $1 wings. Why don't you come down at 4 p.m., order some $1 wings, grab yourself a Young Americans, move on to the Big Nobby, and maybe go home and listen to some Bowie. That's like the perfect night out, right? Anyway, thank you so much for listening, guys. We'll be back next week with another live broadcast. It's been a real pleasure being here. A huge thanks to Joe again. Once again, thanks to Foghorn for having us, and we'll see you next week.